Okay, so my name's Paula. I'm from Agility Scales, the company that makes the Mind Settlers app. Danielle, thanks for joining today. Feel free to interrupt me, ask any questions you like. Yeah, great. And then I figured today I would first just walk through the new practices layout and talk about that a little bit and show you some of the things you can do with it. Also, I have a preview of the improvements on the homepage, which should hopefully make this view that we're looking at now much, much better and more usable for finding ideas. Yeah, and then questions, whatever questions you have, I'm really interested to know what you think about things and how you find, what's your experience, and if you have a wish list for things as well. So hopefully we'll take 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how many questions and how much of a discussion happens. But I won't be talking for half an hour. Okay, so, oops, I've got my tablet right here, which is the screen I'm sharing. So I'll head over to Explore. And with the new release, we've really wanted to improve the content on the platform. We have so much great content. And we've break it down into practices, and sort of practices are the what is this all about, and then there's always something that tells you the how. In this case, how to encourage objections. There's a source link. We actually go to an external page for that. But let me find one here that is internal, that has it on the platform so you can see it. I believe this is one. So here's the new layout, where we have the practice at the very top. In this case, the 7-piece framework by Dave Gray. It's quite short. There's two sentences there. 2 sentences. And then we have a guide, and the guide, you probably have, you know what that is. The guide is what you can do. So now this is the new layout, all in one place. Hopefully this is easier to absorb. We have the what and the how together, but you can still come and take action on it. So we've got rating things shown, where you can rate a practice, and you can actually go and see who's rated things. There's a whole review page. The other thing you'll find too is copyright. Now we have that formalized, the copyright on materials. Some materials are Creative Commons, some, like the Dave Gray's materials, he reserves all rights. So I think that's good for authors. And if you look at the bottom, did you complete this practice? What we really want to continue to do is people can rate and review things, which is what we're all comfortable with. You can talk about whether you like the practice or the materials or not. But if you actually do it, if you've actually done it, then we take you to what you may be familiar with, our marks. You can mark what happened. And here, value for me, value for others. So if I have run this practice, I can come in here and give it a bit more rich feedback in terms of how did I find this? How did it work for me? Did it go really well? Did it go badly, etc.? So I'm going to back out of that. I don't want to record a mark because I haven't actually done this one, but that's there. And we really are hoping that we'll see a lot more ratings and reviews, and people can sort of interacting with the content as a result of that. Right, so the other thing to show you, and I will come into a different practice just so we can see how this works. If you look at the top here, there's 3 icons. There's the info icon, which we had come across before, but the 2 other icons here, this one, the middle one, this is if you want to save it, essentially. If you want to save, if you find a good idea and you're like, ooh, I want to keep track of that. I could use that in a particular situation or person, or you can add it to your collections. So this is collections. I've created 7 here for different topics. So if I want to, I can add this guide to the collections, and then it's easier to find later. Also, you can keep ideas in one place and eventually share them with other people if you want to save a collection for others that you're working with. That's what that icon means. And the last icon you'll see is very familiar, the share icon. So if you hit the share icon, then it's going to pull up all your app, the ways that you can share. I'm always sharing stuff to Slack. I'm not sharing to Drive, but I'm definitely sharing to Slack, sharing to social media channels once in a while, or even just sharing to email if I want to send it to another person. So the share button lets you do that. And of course, that will take the URL of this. And if you are sharing it outside of Mind Settlers, then they will get the web version, right? If you don't have to have the app in order to see this. The content is all accessible online. Now, rating and reviewing is only in the app. Marking what you did with it, that's only in the app. But if you want to share out the content, you can do that to anyone. Okay, so that is the new practice layout, which our goals with that is to make it easier to absorb and read things, fewer clicks between components for ideas. And I'm going to stop sharing because now I actually want to show you the next sort of app improvement project that's happening, and that is I have a mock-up on my computer, so let me show you that. So we realized that the home page, the home screen, let me not say home page, home screen in the app, there's too much to do. It shows you too many things to click on, and also the activity stream we find for new people is confusing. They're not sure what action they're supposed to take. And we really wanted the home screen to be more about the first step, which is finding ideas. So this is the new conception of the home page. We'll keep stories, which are, the one-time sort of messages that we have. And then we'll have today new content, new people. So we'll show people, focus on the imagery more than anything else. And then down here you'll see, we will have spaces for, leaderboards and showcasing people and what they're doing in the app, etc. Yeah, but this we think will be a much easier to explore, better ways to access content. Yeah, and the two things I need to mention. Two things I need to mention. One is there is some onboarding when you first get into the app, and we have you choose some tags, set up your selection. What do you care about? That sets up a page in Explore. So that would move to, which one is it? I'm just going to look up the name of it. That would move to Progress. So the onboarding will still happen, but we won't showcase it at the top. It'll go over to Progress. And then the stream of what's happening in the community, what people are doing, that moves to the activity page. So My Activity is where that moves to. I think that makes more sense. Yeah, Danielle.
May I ask something? So currently in this first page that you are just showing here, where would I find the progress?
Yeah, so this one is there's the 4 buttons at the bottom. Here they are. So at the bottom here.
Okay, yes. Got it. Yeah,
I wasn't sure if it is there. It is there at the very bottom of this Zeppelin. Yes, so we have those four buttons, if you will, right? And the first one, if you've set up some tags, set up what you care about, that'll say done. The other three are locked because we haven't built them yet. But that'll be at the top of progress rather than at the top of the home screen. Yeah. Yeah, and then activity, right now this is called My Activity, and we'll change that just to activity, and we'll have two, you can choose two views, either see what everyone's doing or just see your own activity streams. So I think that's logical. Separates it out a bit better.
Yeah, that's nice. Thanks for
Good,
sharing.
good. Sure thing. And Danielle, tell me how are you using the app right now?
So I think that the app looks really nice. I think that it looks a bit more intuitive, and at least for me, I like to see people's faces, as it's really tough most of the times to actually interact with remote people. It's interesting to have their faces here, and I really love this shape. And I think that the idea of having this gamification as well about the contributors, this is also interesting as well.
Right, this kind of thing down here.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you can sort of sum up what people are doing rather than just have a detailed stream.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have all the actionable content in there, and then we have marks, right? What are you what kind of value are you getting out of the content, or just share what you're up to? And then we have tracks and journeys, and all of that we want to build out. But right now we figure if we don't get the first step right, which is connecting people to the ideas, right, that they're valuable to them, there's no point there's no point improving marks or improving tracks and journeys. We have to make sure that people can get to the stuff that's valuable to them first. So hopefully we've gone really deep into that in the last 3 months, and this is what's part of what's come out of that, right? Let's improve that. So
yeah, sure.
I look at marks, I'm like, oh yeah, we all know, we're like, we really need to fix that up, but we'll yeah, that's on the list. It's just not to the top yet.
Yeah, I understand, and I share your thoughts as well.
Yeah, cool. And sharing the other we're working a lot as well. This is hopefully going to make it just a better experience for an individual when they're in the app. The other piece that's huge is collaboration, working with other people. You mentioned that you have remote folks and you want to see them. I don't know if you have tried out Teams, setting up a team where you can sort of see that activity in one place. You can, under your profile, set up a team and group people so you see activity, but sharing a collection, sharing content between each other, and then having some sort of communication, that's what we're looking at right now, is essentially extending out so you can use it with other people and collaborate in the app. So if you've read any of the blog posts lately, you'll know that Jürgen is using the app in his new Shift Up workshops. He's actually using a lot of guides, some of the step-by-step guides as activities, interactive activities in the workshop. And then we're just experimenting with supporting people post-workshop. Hey, you go to a workshop, a training, how do you apply what you've learned? Can your trainer, your coach support you in that? Can you have some experiments to try ready to go so it doesn't take so much effort to figure out what you want to do? So we're exploring in those spaces, and I think that's probably a good space, because if you're an agile coach or a scrum master, if it's sort of training or learning, having a learning session and then supporting people afterwards, that could apply to many places, not just a workshop that you pay for that's external. It could be an internal training. Yep. So that's it could even just be a meeting where you really want to support people actually taking action afterwards and gamify.
Yeah, it's all about sharing. It doesn't matter if it's it might be important for someone. So
Yeah,
yeah. Mhm.
absolutely. Great. And the other piece that we have done is, of course, um, that we've created the first version, which is not completely finished yet, of the authoring portal, right? So you can create content yourself. And this, if you create content in here, it will be semi-private. It will be unlisted. That's the best word. It's unlisted. So you can create content. You'll be able to access it under your profile. It'll show up as practices or tracks under your profile. You'll have a URL to a public version of it, but it won't be in the Explore section. So you can sort of create anything you want. We found a lot of people want to put together resources for a team. Some of it's very specific to that team. They really don't want it visible to the whole community in the app. Then there's other scenarios where people want to create stuff that just for their own use, for example. So this is that first step. And then if you want to have it branded, if you want to have it promoted and part of the common knowledge base, then that's sort of a next step. But yeah, so this is we need to do more work on this to make it really a wonderful experience for people to use. But there's a lot of work that's happened there, and eventually that will sort of help this, like you said, sharing the cycle complete. You can share what other people have made in there, but look, if we want to make it easy for you to share what you've done. So Danielle, you take some activity, you try it, you come up with an iteration that's fantastic, right? Most things you tend to adapt them to your own environment. So that we've got the foundation for that, being able to get that back in the system too, not only through marking and saying what happened with it, but by adding your own things you've created or things you've adapted in. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to cover today, and there's going to be heaps more coming up. But this project, yeah, we want to get through this home page project. It will happen in stages too. I think the first stage is the updated home page, and then we'll, move stuff over. It may be like the group activity stream may be gone for a little while until we build it, but yeah, we'll get that all done in the next few weeks. Although don't quote me on that. Of course, we operate in an agile way, so we don't have a hard delivery date. Just thinking people might be a little angry if I.
No, not at all.
I don't quite know when all the pieces are done, but I do know that a lot of this is built, and we're just about to get it on an internal release so we can thrash it and test it. So that's pretty far along. All right.
Excited about these updates. Thanks for sharing.
Sure thing. Yes, thanks for coming along. Normally what I do then is I'll upload this on YouTube and share with everyone else, but it's always nice to have someone here. And Danielle, if you have any questions or any feedback for me, it's a good time right now, or anything on your wish list.
Yeah. So Paula, I'll be really honest with you. I've used the app during the free time.
Sure.
The free trial, and I thought it was really interesting, but unfortunately I did not get the buy-in there in my company for people to use it, because they were expecting to have more like spaces for people to actually interact to each other. And I think that so this is the reason why actually, at least for me, it's still important to keep track on how things are going. Mm-hmm. My settlers, so I can actually come to this discussion with them again.
Yeah, sure. So the big thing you needed was collaboration. You needed ways to interact. Exactly. more than just marking or tracking your own progress.
Yeah, exactly. And we are also, as I said, we are really distributed.
Hmm.
So we have to have a really nice business justification to make sure that to actually ensure that this would be a really nice investment.
Sure.
And
And is it
also,
Scrum Masters and coaches that you're thinking of? Is that the kind of people you were going to pull
no,
together?
actually, I work in a startup, and I'm the
Okay.
only person there that it's agile something.
All right. All right.
And but at the same time, I think that it's extremely important also to make sure that we have other people enthusiastic there as well. And
Definitely.
yeah, so it was kind of shock in the first moment when I actually introduced the app for them.
Hmm.
They got excited at the same time, know that, wow, this is too much information for us. We're not there yet.
Hmm. Hmm.
And as we have more collaboration space, maybe this is the moment that we can gather more people to interact through the app.
Great. Oh, well, that's good to know. I'll note that down and, maybe we get you to, once we have the collaboration pieces in there, you can have another look. I'll let you know when that's in there. Yep.
Sure. Let's keep
Yep.
in touch.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thanks again. And
Thank you.
have a great day and all the best. Good luck with
Thank
your own
you.
adventures.
Thank
Okay.
you. You too.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.